Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? We spoke about this guy before. I was trying to tell you that he's been lining his ducks up now since, at least March, trying to do what he needs to do to get into power. Now, he made this attempt when Dr. Shabibi was around to grab full control of Iraq and be the next Saddam Hussein. Well, he's an old man now, and he's running out of time. And it looks like he's heading in that direction once again. Will he make it? Let's find out. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. I just want to remind everybody, if you're thinking about investing in the stocks over there in Iraq, which I think is a great investment, reach out to Wise Investments and Holdings Group. They can be reached at 850-520-2693. Tell them Pimpy sent you and they'll take care of you. So this is how you know Maliki is trying to line himself up. Look at this. Al-Maliki's coalition seeks to change governors of Diyala, Diwania, and Karbala. Said the State of Law coalition led by Maliki is seeking to replace the governors of Diyala, Diwania, and Karbala with its own candidates, a member of the coalition said on Wednesday. So he wants to replace them with his own people. A member of the State of Law coalition told the news agency that the coalition has proposed a new candidate for the governorship of Diyala. This candidate, according to Al Jazeera, is not controversial and enjoys the support of the people of Diyala, unlike the current governor, Al-Tamimi. In Karbala, Al Jazeera said that the State of Law believes a change in leadership is necessary. He explained that the coalition had previously reached an agreement with the Coordinated Framework, an alliance of mainly Iran-backed Shiite political force, to appoint new governors for the governance. However, Al Jazeera claims this agreement was not honored. He accused the Karbala Governance Council of holding a meeting and selecting a governor of their own choosing, marginalizing qualified candidates in the process. Al Jazeera called this action unconstitutional and contrary to the agreement that was reached. So you see, people know better about Maliki. They do. They should put their own people forward. The State of Law Coalition is seeking to change leadership for the Diwania government. Al Jazeera said this was part of the original agreement with the Coordinated Framework. You notice how they're separating them, the State of Law and the Coordinated Framework. I told you a few months back, Maliki was separating himself from the Coordinated Framework group because they couldn't see eye to eye on many things. Al Jazeera said that the State of Law has not interfered in the selection of governors other than Kirkuk and the western province of Anbar, Saladin, and Nineveh. However, he indicated that the coalition has recently pushed for amendments to the governor selection process during this latest meeting with the Coordinated Framework. So there they go. They're trying to line up their own alliances and get their own people into power. It looks like Maliki is going to make another push to be the next Saddam of Iraq, and that's not what we want. Al-Sadani needs to do something to get this guy removed. He needs to reach out over there to Sadr for help. This is how you handle drug dealers. 7 sentenced to death for cross-border drug trafficking in Iraq. The chaos and conflicts that have engulfed Iraq since the U.S. invasion in 2003 impeded Iraq's governments from effectively addressing the threat of drugs. The Central Criminal Court issued a verdict to execute 7 drug dealers, including a foreigner, who were convicted of trafficking narcotic substances. The Supreme Judicial Council said in a statement without specifying the nationality of the foreigner. The council noted that the convicts were sentenced to death for importing and exporting narcotic substance from neighboring countries. In May of 2023, the Iraq Prime Minister al-Sadani underlined the importance of waging a war on drugs. He said the drug dealing remains one of the main ways of financing terrorism, and the circulation of drugs flourishes in the shadow of terrorism. So this is one way to deal with it, especially if it's dealing with terrorism. If you're financing terrorism with drug money, well, when you catch the drug dealers, kill them. This is something else we don't want to see. Look at this. Israel prepares for a wide strike attack against Lebanon. On Friday, the Israeli media revealed the readiness of Israel's Army's North Command for a wide-scale attack on Lebanon, awaiting political approval. According to Hebrew Channel 12, Israel acknowledges the possibility of inevitable war, noting that it is not certain whether Hezbollah correctly analyzes Israel's seriousness in acting in Lebanon, which increases the risk of expanding the arena, which is exactly what the powers that be want this to happen. They want a worldwide nuclear war. If you remember, the Spirit Box was saying that there's a nuclear war coming. It's supposed to be this year, and it's supposed to happen during the summertime. And the shots will come out of Syria, I believe is what the Spirit Box said, if you guys remember. Notably, tensions between Israel and Hezbollah have escalated in the last days. Not to mention, we got a fleet of Russian ships sitting right over in Cuba, which is like 90 miles off our shore. On Thursday, an Israeli airstrike on the building between the towns of Waneta and Dera Qanon in South Lebanon resulted in the deaths of 2 women and injuries to several civilians, according to local reports. This is the first time when Israel attacked this area, which is approximately 21 kilometers from the nearest border point. The attack followed a recent surge in hostility, with Hezbollah launching more than 250 rockets at Israel within 2 days in its largest attack since the conflict began on October the 7th. Look, if countries don't want Israel bombing them in their territories, then you need to make sure that the terrorists, Hezbollah, is not attacking from your country. If you don't do anything about that, then you suffer and your people suffer the consequences. I just want the wars to end. I don't got a dog in this fight. I just hate seeing people die. Hezbollah targeting was responsible for Israeli airstrikes in the town of Jawiya, south of Lebanon, which killed 4 Hezbollah members, including the prominent commander. Lebanese sources stated that Abu Talib is the highest-ranking Hezbollah official to be assassinated since the onset of the Israeli war on Gaza in southern Lebanon. Israeli military spokesperson David Menzer affirmed in a press conference that Israel will respond forcefully to all attacks carried out by Hezbollah. He added, Israel will restore security on our northern border through diplomatic efforts or otherwise. So far, the escalation has resulted in the deaths of at least 469 people in Lebanon, including at least 307 Hezbollah members and 90 civilians. On the Israeli side, 15 soldiers and 11 civilians have been reported killed. However, the Israeli figures are reported to be much higher, and casualties among soldiers are higher. On Thursday, the French President Macron announced that the leaders of the group of 7 countries, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United Kingdom, and the United States, have agreed to set up a trilateral committee to discuss a roadmap for diffusing tensions between Lebanese Hezbollah and Israel. The committees include France, Israel, and the United States. The United States expressed concern over the possible escalation between the two sides. According to Reuters, a senior U.S. official said that the United States is very concerned that hostilities between the Israeli army and Hezbollah could escalate to a full-out war, adding that specific security arrangements are needed for the area. A ceasefire in Gaza was not enough. We have had consistent and urgent conversations at different times with Israel and Lebanon over the 8 months from the very beginning of the crisis to keep this from developing into a full-out war that could have implications beyond elsewhere in the region. And this is a huge part of what I spoke about. Every time Iraq tries to take 2 steps forward, there's always something coming around and screwing things up. So far, they've managed to keep their nose semi-clean. Unfortunately, they have a bunch of Iran-backed militia groups still bombing U.S. soldiers. But if they kill one of them, all hell's going to break loose. But you definitely don't want the Israeli war to escalate anymore, because more and more countries are starting to get involved. I know Saudi Arabia doesn't want it because they're building some magnificent cities. And we know Iraq is trying to get their crap together, and the last thing they need is to be involved in any of these wars. Or conflicts, for that matter. Anyways, that's it for now. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out.